Okay, good evening. Starting back with our class videos, um, our learning goal for this evening is that students will be able to interpret the remainder in a division problem. Now, through the last couple of lessons that we've had, we've often got a remainder as part of our answer, and what we're going to be doing today is talking about what that remainder actually means. There's two ways to express a remainder. The way that we've been doing it is a whole number. We'd write the R to say that that's the remainder, and then we'd write the number that we got when we subtracted at the end. Another way that we can do it is to write that remainder as a fraction. The remainder would be the numerator in the fraction, and the divisor in our division problem would be our denominator. So let's go ahead and look at some examples and see how that works. Our first sample problem, Mr. Fuhrer went for a hike of 273 miles. He's going to hike the same distance each day for 12 days. And we want to know how many miles will he hike each day. So we have our note sheet here. You see that we have our learning goal written up in the top left section, and we have our heading with our name, the date, and a short title for our notes. In this case, that's interpret remainder. And then I've gone ahead and worked out the problem. So we're going to hike a total of 273 miles, and we wanted to hike for 12 days, and we wanted to know how many miles we would hike each day. So when you work that out, you get an answer of 22 with a remainder of 9. Well, we said we can write that as a fraction, where we take the denominator and put it in the numerator of the fraction, and then we take the divisor and put it in the denominator. And so it would look like this. We're going to take the 22 in our answer for the 22 miles, and then we're going to put the 9 on top and the 12 on the bottom. Now when I look at that 9/12 that we just wrote there, I see that we can divide evenly out of the 9 and the 12 the number 3. We can do 9 divided by 3 is equal to 3, and we could do 12 divided by 3, which is equal to 4. And this is called simplifying a fraction. Hopefully this is something you've already learned, but if not, it's simply finding a number that you can divide out of the top and the bottom and doing it for both. The interesting part is 9/12 has the exact same value as 3/4. And so we haven't changed the value, all we've changed is the way that it looks. And so our final answer would be 22 3/4 miles. So each day we would hike 22 3/4 miles. So let's look at a second problem. In this second problem, Mr. Fuhrer wants to hike a 232-mile trail, and he wants to cover 15 miles each day. We have two questions here. We want to know how many days will it take for him to do that, and we also want to know that on the last day, how many miles will he need to hike? Okay, just like before, went ahead and worked out the problem. As you can see, the 232 miles of the total trail we divided by the 15 miles that we wanted to cover each day. We got an answer of 15 days at the top, plus we have this extra bit in our remainder of 7. So what does that mean? Well, if we're going to hike and we want to count up the number of days, we know it's going to take 15 plus the extra day to hike these last 7 miles. And so the first part of our answer is, how many days will it take? It's going to take 16 days. it takes the 15 days that it takes to cover when we walk 15 miles a day, and then on the last day we're only going to walk 7 miles. And so the answer to the second question is 7 miles. So when we work out the problem, we get an answer of 15 with the remainder of 7. We know that we're going to go 15 days where we hike 15 miles, and then we're going to do one extra day where we only walk or hike 7 miles. And so the total number of days that we're going to hike is 16. And then on the last day, we're going to hike 7 more miles. Okay, let's go ahead and work out some practice problems at the end. Pause the video, and then once you've worked out the problems, then go ahead and play the video and check your answers. Okay, so there's 2 practice problems. Go ahead and work those out now. Pause the video while you're doing that, and then restart the video when you're ready to check your answers. Alright, so for the first of our practice problems, the answer is we're going to need 157 crates, and the last crate is only going to hold 4 sleeping bags. And for our second problem, Mr. Fuhrer is going to hike 6 1/4 miles each day. All right. Well, thank you for watching the notes tonight. Make sure you bring your Cornell notes in to class tomorrow, and we'll be checking those off there. Also, if you have any questions, please make sure you mark those down in your notes so that you can ask those questions when you come into class tomorrow. Have a great evening, and I'll see you tomorrow.